Hi, my name is NJK. So, most often I love to share from my personal experience. Um, Having a background in teaching and imparting knowledge has given me the opportunity to understand how to pass information or to be able to communicate effectively. And one of the best way to communicate is through storytelling, especially stories that are connected to the speaker or that are relatable. Um, During the course of my career, I started my career in teaching. I started teaching when I was 16 years. I spent about 5 years and 4 months teaching students across several schools in Lagos, precisely, and some other parts of Nigeria. And one of the reasons why I decided to put in almost half a decade, more than half a decade of my years in teaching was because of my experience I had as a student from my primary to secondary school. I had this challenge of learning, and it was quite difficult for me. Not probably because I was a dullard, but because of the expectation and the way I'm perceived was nothing to write home about. Basically, everybody around me, most of the time, never believed in me. I had the challenge of speaking out. Even when I know what to say, most times I don't speak correctly. I have the challenge of pronouncing words the way they should be pronounced. So as a result of that, I was confined into my shell, and it took years of personal resilience to be able to come out of my introverted state of mind. So that gave me the push to invest that number of years into teaching. I specialize in speaking to kids, students who had the same experience with me because I've been there. I was able to bring them out of their shell, relate with them, and be able to give them a platform for them to be expressive. And one of the best things as a parent or as a speaker that you can give to anyone around you is the platform, the opportunity for them to be able to express themselves freely without having any fear of being criticized or embarrassed. Specifically, I'm making this video to actually address a broad syndrome of how most times we adults contribute to the low self-esteem that those around them grow up to have. You see, if you come close, if you're opportune to come in contact with me, one of the things you will easily identify is that I live a life that challenges anyone around me to want to become better than they were before they come in contact with me. I have that natural aura that pushes anyone around me to want to become better than they are, even without me making a statement, even without me giving out any instruction or models of how people should be able to get inspired or challenged to want to become better. It is a personal intention within me that started out quite a long time ago to be able to live a life that will be able to naturally motivate people to want to come out of their shell, to want to live beyond their limited thinking or view of life. So if you are a parent, if you are a teacher, or you are an adult that have the opportunity to have young people coming closer to you, or you are saddled with the responsibility of raising kids, raising younger people, always live in a way whereby they will be motivated to want to be themselves, speak out when they need to, and be able to share their challenges. When I was quite younger, due to the disbelief of those around me, I struggled to want to relate my challenges with a lot of persons. There was nobody to fall back on or to run to for a feedback or to relate my pain. Oftentimes, I'm always indoor, crying out my pain. But I didn't end there. Through self-studies, self-discovery, I was able to brush up myself and step out into the world, holding the bull by the horn, stepping out there to challenge the status quo and being able to speak out. So I end up writing, speaking, and getting engaged by the outside world, with the outside world. I was able to publish books. I was able to give out speaks. I was able to win awards. I was able to impact lives. So, are you someone out there that probably nobody believe in you? Even your closest pals or the people you are looking up to don't have an iota of belief in you. Don't get discouraged. You need to keep on working on yourself. You need to keep on doing what you believe is a talent or a passion that you have. You must be able to have that consistent pattern of following up on your passion or goals without getting external validation or support. Because you see, oftentimes we don't get the right accolades from those around us. The motivation, the support, the push that we need most times don't come from those around us. They start giving us the needed accolades and support when they are convinced enough that what we are doing or who you claim to be or who you want to be is actually something that is dependable. And it is in your core as a student, as a parent, as a young champ out there to keep working on your craft until you are able to naturally buy the conviction of those around you. So, you don't need to remain in your shell. You don't need to remain within the confines of your limitations. Trust me, those limitations you are experiencing or you are perceiving are actually the stepping stones that you need to move to the next phase of your life. And if you don't conquer, if you don't overcome those limitations, those barriers that you see as a challenge, probably you stutter when you speak, probably you don't have the boldness to face a crowd, probably you are so strict on yourself that you feel that you don't need to be seen. You rather be at the background or behind the scene, irrespective of what the challenge may be. Those things are what you need to step on to move up a little bit. Because for you to move up a little bit, for you to get to a new height, there must be steps you must climb on. So you need to discover those limitations you're experiencing. Are they the steps you need to move up to in order for you to reach out to a greater height? So instead of crawling back into your shell, instead of feeling so pain about yourself, about everyone around you, about God, about nature, you need to ask yourself this question. These limitations, are they the steps I need to climb to reach out to the next phase of my life? And if they are the steps you need to climb, there is no other time than now for you to step out and start working on them and start breaking them down in bits and start taking those baby steps in order for you to climb on them. So many people out there, those great people you see as role models, may not have it smooth from the beginning. Most of them may be experiencing worse situation than what you may be going to or what I'm going to. But it's about our readiness to be able to conquer nature. But whether we like it or not, nature has been designed in order to limit so many of us. So many persons are naturally limited, destined by nature to be limited, because when you look at the pyramid of success, it's always narrower at the top. So what it means is that it's not everybody that can be accommodated at the top. So, but when it comes to the base of the pyramid, you see that there's a whole lot of us there, a lot of people there. But you see, it takes resilience. It takes you not looking at your limitation. It takes you living beyond the physical challenges that nature throws at you in order for you to climb up to the top of the pyramid. And that is why you need to feed on your limitations. You need to feed on those low self-esteems. You need to feed on the lack of money mentality. You need to feed on the lack of support mentality. You need to feed on those entitlement mentality. You need to feed on the fact that you feel that you come from the worst background. You've never gotten the support you need out of life or out of your uncles or anybody around you. You need to limit your mindset, your mental energy. Don't let it get distracted by those thoughts. You need to focus on the core of what needs to be worked on. Let me be your guide. You reach out to me. You can get my email, njkpersonal2018@gmail.com. Reach out to me. Trust me. There are little steps that you can start taking from today for you to reach out to the next level. I'm your personal development coach. My name is NJK. But don't forget, I'm still work in progress. Yeah, because the road to success is always under construction. Cheers.